Hello, good evening.
Welcome to Tranquility.
Yoga means the communion, the union with his own self. And meditation is one kind of yoga. And the nature of meditation is rooted between the relationship with your own self.
That is right. If one's relationship with one's own self can be perfected, then all other relationships will fall in place.
Yes, indeed. All the problem starts when we are not accepting. That can be accepting events, other people, situations that come across our path. And the major reason is that we can't accept ourselves. And obviously, nothing around us can be accepted.
That's right. Let us see how meditation can bring back acceptance into our lives.
As the thoughts slowly start falling off, the mind starts to get calmer and calmer. It increasingly becomes tranquil. The swinging of the pendulum between two extremes slows down. We start becoming more centered and balanced. This reflects in our actions and behavior.
I feel more happy and joyful after meditation. If I don't do meditation one morning, I will feel grumpy all day.
I guess it has made me a better listener. I don't need to interject people that much anymore. I don't know about others, but my better half definitely appreciates it a lot more.
I can take quick decisions now. When it comes to taking decisions, there is more clarity in my head. And more importantly, these decisions are more rational, grounded in logic, as opposed to being emotional decisions.
Some time back, or rather some years back, I used to be more attached to a lot of things and wonder how can somebody just be detached from any of the things that you love the most or something which you really long for. But now I realized over the years of meditation, you're able to achieve these things, but you don't have to be attached to yourself, attached to the materialistic things that you should be associated with. You can have that and yet not be attached to it.
I meditate.
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 Close my eyes, start with a suggestion, I connect with my heart. As thoughts come in, I'm aware of them, but I gently go back to that feeling of my heart, to the thought of being with me. Stillness begins to happen, and I go deeper within. And when I come out, I'm refreshed.
I like who I am better when I meditate more.
When I meditate, I feel one, I feel whole, I feel connected.
Happy.
Balance.
More light.
Total well-being.
Closer to God.
Adventure and a rhythm that you get into and feel and explore, and then once you come out the other end, you say, this is not too bad at all.
I think one of the biggest benefits of meditation, it teaches us to patiently listen. You see, we easily judge people, we want to interrupt their conversation and disregard their viewpoint. I would say we are not listening, we're just hearing.
Absolutely. Very true. Sometimes the other person only wants to be heard. When we meditate, our intellectual capabilities increase manifold.
It's correct. But I think meditation doesn't help us to be more intellectual or help us our intellect. Actually, I think that meditation helps to clear up the mess, the clouds, which covers up things which we can't see clearly.
So when we start meditating, the images which we have, which our mind has formed of ourselves, of others, these images and mental identifications start falling off one by one. And the clutter in the mind starts getting less and less. Mind becomes more free and one is in an inner state of calm and happiness.
Meditation helps us live moment by moment, awakening to the inner experience.
There are many proven medical benefits of meditation. As an example, it increases the gray matter of the brain, which leads to bring, the sphere of attention much more clearer. It increases the level of oxygen of the brain again, means your attention, your focus is much more. It increases the level of the immunity, which we need. In many areas, you can sleep better, you're more centered, you're more focused, you have less stress, which then, as you know, everything leads from that. We are more tuned with ourselves.
There are 3,000 scientific studies on the benefits of meditation.
Tranquility, brought to you by Sahaj Marg.
Meditation means to think continuously of one thing. Across the world, people are waking up to the benefits of meditation. Numerous studies have shown that meditation has several benefits, including increase of brain gray matter, increased oxygen supply to the brain cells, improved immunity levels, and sound sleep. It has also been linked to various psychological and emotional changes.
I always have a question, a lot of my friends and myself have a question, what is this meditative state is like? And how we can prove objectively, find out what it is like.
This experiment is trying to understand the state of a person when he or she is in deep meditation. States of being are defined as wakeful state, sleep state, or other deeper states of sleep, including dream sleep.
Meditators were more able to attend moment to the stream of stimuli to which they are exposed, and less likely to get stuck on any one stimulus. Open monitoring meditation involves non-reactively monitoring the content of experience from moment to moment, primarily as a means to recognize the nature of emotional and cognitive patterns. In a study conducted at 5 middle schools in Belgium, involving about 400 students, 13 to 20 years old, Professor Philip Rice concludes that students who follow an in-class mindfulness program report reduced indications of depression, anxiety, and stress up to 6 months later. Moreover, these students were less likely to develop pronounced depression-like symptoms. Another study from the University of California, made with patients with past depression, concluded that mindfulness meditation decreases ruminative thinking and dysfunctional beliefs. A group of Harvard neuroscientists ran an experiment where 16 people were submitted to an 8-week mindfulness course using guided meditations and integration of mindfulness into everyday activities. The results were reported by Sarah Lazar, PhD. At the end of it, MRI scans show that the grey matter concentration increases in areas of the brain involved in learning and memory, regulating emotions, sense of self, and having perspective. In a study published in late 2012, a group of over 200 high-risk individuals was asked to either take a health education class promoting better diet and exercise, or take a class on transcendental meditation. During the next 5 years, researchers accompanying the participants found that those who took the meditation class had a 48% reduction in their overall risk of heart attack, stroke, and death. They noted that meditation significantly reduced risk for mortality, myocardial infarction, and stroke in coronary heart disease patients. These changes were associated with lower blood pressure and psychosocial stress factors. When the brain is presented two targets to pay attention to, and they write after one another, half a second difference, the second one is often not seen. This is called attentional blink. In an experiment conducted by the University of California, a stream of random letters was shown in a computer screen in rapid succession. In each session, one or two numbers or blank screens would appear in the middle, and participants were later asked, immediately after the stream ended, to type the numbers they saw. They were also asked whether they thought a blank screen was shown or not. Subjects that had undergone 3 months of intense vipassana meditation were found to have a better control over the distribution of attention and perception resources. They showed less allocation of brain resource for each letter shown, which resulted in reduction in attentional blink size.
Wow, so many proven benefits of meditation and so positive research done. And virtually, there is no area that meditation didn't touch upon. Stress, anxiety, creativity, peace, heart. It has holistic, positive impact on our body, mind, and spirit.
That's true. No wonder meditation has stood the test of time for ages. However, there are many people that feel meditation did not bring them the desired results. I wonder why.
Meditation is highly effective, but it does take some time and we have to be patient with it. I mean, if you come to think of it, meditation cures you from the root. It does not give you temporary relief. And this is the reason it takes some time, because it cleans away or washes away the mental tendencies altogether. Therefore, many people they complain that meditation was not very effective or it did not live up to their expectations. I mean, you have to give it some time. You have to do it at least for 1 year or 2 years, before you can actually see the benefits. The other thing is, it's very important that we do meditation correctly. So what does meditation mean? I mean, you gently try to ignore the thoughts which arise during meditation, because thoughts do not have power. We give them power by attending to them. So when we try to gently ignore them, they lose power and they start falling off one by one. But if we do not follow this process, and during meditation, instead of ignoring the thoughts, we try to focus on the thoughts, we try to attend to the thoughts, we will give them power and thoughts will magnify and meditation will not be effective. So I believe to reap the benefits of meditation or to have effective meditation, we need to be patient and we need to do it correctly by ignoring the thoughts.
If the meditation is not done correctly, it can be counterproductive. It will strengthen the tendency of the mind, which then the result will definitely not be there. Also, if it's done mechanically, then the result will never be there, because it's done in a very artificial way.
What are the mistakes one does during meditation? What are the things that should be avoided during meditation?
Earlier I used to have a lot of thoughts, a lot of mental repetition, but now I used to try and concentrate all the time, to not have the thoughts. But then I realized one day that meditation is all about letting go. So
I used to judge myself and judge my thoughts. I used to feel guilty about the nature of my thoughts. How could I have such thoughts?
I used to sit in meditation with my eyes closed and would have a huge flow of thoughts and get carried away with it. But with time, it just started dropping off and I was much more centered, or rather I am much more centered.
Meditation has certainly helped me in all spheres of my life. But most importantly is to become more and more of a human being. To be brief, I can mention probably two beneficial techniques. One, what I call it the art of letting go, which means that you let go of all your past impressions, negative thinking, negative emotion, and in the present you let go so no further grossness will accumulate in your system. That is the art of letting go. So you have no attachment to the past. It doesn't mean that you lose your memory. No, on the contrary, it means your memory will be intact, but without that emotional attachment to the events that has taken place probably many, many years ago. And that is a great release and a great sense of freedom. Two, it teaches you the art of non-interference, meaning, and you need patience for that, you allow things to evolve without interfering. You wait. That is how meditation is, the art of waiting, without labeling them, without giving thoughts or judgment to anything, any event. Even in your day-to-day life, when you meet people, you meet them as beautiful souls. Don't label them, don't judge them. Allow things to evolve before you, and it will be beautiful.
Tranquility, brought to you by Sahaj Mug.
Yes, if the meditation is done correctly, it's very beneficial. How we should do that? We should relax, and most importantly, we should put our heart in it.
So the goal of meditation is expansion of consciousness, not concentration.
That's right. Although concentration will happen after a good meditation. Meditation is an art and science. You need to put work, enthusiasm, and do it with full passion. Then it will surely work.
Yes. The thing about meditation is to enjoy it. Put your heart in it. Heart. That reminds me of our next episode. To lead a balanced and peaceful life, the mind is important. Equally important is the heart.
Yes. The heart is not just the pumping station as an organ that we have. It's beyond that. I would say it's a seat of divinity. It's a gateway of the source of existence where we are descended. It's the place which we connect with our higher self.
The splendor of the heart vibrates.
In the next episode, we will speak about the importance of the heart and how heart-based meditation will help the people worldwide to find the inner peace and joy.
See you all next week. Same day, same time.
Good night. See you next week.
I would say, apparently all the qualities that will arise.
We act based on what we feel.
I mean, it is the heart.
Tranquility, brought to you by Sahaj Mug.